Fáilte roibh go léir go mar croma an lá seo lá éile Pádraig 1987. Welcome everybody to Macroom. It's Patrick's Day. It's 1987, a day when our national apostle and our national feast day is being celebrated worldwide. In capitals all over the world, parades are being held, and Macroom, capital of Musgrave, is no exception to that. And just in the background here, you can see it's a hive, a very din of activity with music, pipe bands, trucks and floats of all sorts and great variety. And now we listen to the music for a little while. Right here in front of us now, it's a very, very colourful float indeed, with two, I think it's two leprechauns. They certainly have their toadstools. Down further I see Warren's Court Country Fair, the float, Mercedes truck there, and further down the Telecom float, last year's winners. Gentlemen, here beside me we have an avid fan of LTV. His name is William Buckley and he lives in
Kilburn and Crookstown.
He lives in Kilburn and Crookstown. Now, have you been at this parade before, William?
No, I haven't, no.
Never been here before?
No.
What do you think of the floats here today?
God, it's great altogether.
They're very colourful, aren't they?
They're lovely, yeah.
You don't have any parade in Crookstown?
No, we don't, no.
Not at the moment anyway. Well, William will be watching all this on LTV.
Yo, thank you very much.
You're welcome, William. Well, here beside me, in a very attractive float, I have a very attractive lady indeed. It's Fionnuala, and Fionnuala is going to tell us a little bit about her very colourful float. Can you tell me what's the significance of the leprechauns you have on the back there?
Well, last year we had a ship, because it's called Ship Company.
Right.
So this year we decided we go a bit further and we just have a leprechaun seen to St. Patrick's Day in the Shamrock. Basically, that's it.
Right. How long did it take you to get this float together?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. It looks very beautiful indeed. Now, on the back I saw some printed material and I couldn't make much sense of it. Perhaps you can tell us a bit about it.
This is, well, there's actually CADing. It's a new form of PCBs, and it's a machine, more or less.
Right.
And it's more efficient for the company to have this. Basically, it's just a rundown of what we have in the factory above.
Your company has to do with computers, is that right?
That's right, yes.
And can you tell us exactly what you manufacture?
PCBs, printed circuit boards.
Oh.
All various.
So PCB means printed circuit boards. Okay. Thank you very much and good luck with your float.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade is underway. The parade being led initially anyway by Garda Dennis Keane in his squad car, followed by a troop from the FCA, Force of Cussanta O'Toole. Further in the background we have the Irish Guide Dogs Association, who use Warren's Court Wood as their training ground. We have a great many floats this year. Floats stretching from Macroom Motors way out beyond the new bridge. Floats made up of lorries, bands and factories from many different parts of the barony of Muskerry. We are here in the main street, and just here beside us is the artistic monument to Archbishop McGeegan and Bishop O'Herlihy. Further still in the background, the tricolour is flying over the town hall. The sun is shining right now, and we hope it will continue to do so. And since we're beside a monument erected to the memory of bishops, it is perhaps appropriate that we mention here that today is a unique day, because on this day, 17th March 1987, this diocese is being sent a new bishop from Rome, recalling to mind perhaps the fact that in 432 another bishop, Patrick, was sent from Rome. It is also worth remembering, of course, that Patrick was not the first bishop to Ireland, certainly not the first bishop to Cork, because a bishop named Palladius was already preaching the word of God to the people of Cork even before St. Patrick came. However, Palladius was not made our patron saint or national apostle. Perhaps names like Palladius Murphy or Palladius O'Leary wouldn't sound very well, and the name Patrick suits us much better. Well, here we are on the steps of the town hall, taking a shot of the facade, the restored facade of Macroom Castle, this ancient building which could tell many, many stories, one of which is that William Penn stayed here and who eventually went on, and after whom was named the state of Pennsylvania. Further down we see a view of Castle Street, the Gardaí checking the cars down there, and on our right at the top of Castle Street we see McGregor's Carpets shop, a building that once upon a time displayed the gruesome pictures, you might say, of the bare skulls of people who were hanged here in this square in olden times and days which are long gone. Down here beside the monument commemorating the men of 1916 we see just some of the shrubs which have been set all over the town by members of the Macroom Tidy Towns Committee, and perhaps this is a time when we should pay tribute to those people and all the people who give voluntarily of their time to enhance the beauty and attractiveness of our town. And looking down the main street now where the parade is just beginning to come along, we see there some trees which are set on the sidewalk and soon will be blooming and bursting forth into foliage to enhance the beauty of our town. And now the parade is making its way up the main street, led by the Irish Guide Dogs Association.
Guide Dogs Association. They're dog training you.
Okay, sorry.
Put a hand in it.
Okay, I see you.
No, he's there.
All right, okay. All right, thanks very much. Okay. I need down, you can see you. Well, the parade just about to pass the reviewing stand. The Irish Guide Dogs float just coming along there. It's their first time taking part in this parade. This parade organised by Macroom Junior Chamber. The reviewing stand, very, very colourful indeed. The Irish Guide Dogs, some of which are trained in Warren's Court, and their float just passing the review stand right now.
Now we have the Macroom branch of the Irish Guide Guides.
The Irish Guide Guides being accompanied there by Catherine O'Sullivan.
Directly by Sister Rose's band, Catherine Mercy Band.
The Convent of Mercy Band, so much associated with Sister Rose that it has become known as Sister Rose's Band. This band were involved in the Mass this morning, and here they are,
Now we have the first of our commercial floats, and that's
performing one of their many fine tunes. On the viewing stand over there, I see Billy Leahy, UDC, Donald Moynihan, TD, and John Brown, UDC. And the first of our cars, there in front, I see the beautiful new Sierra. This Sierra, unlike its forerunner, which was a hatchback, this one doesn't have a boot, and a beautiful car it is indeed. It is followed by the Escort and the hatchback Orion. It's Kelleher's Garage, Macroom. Main Ford dealers, who've been main Ford dealers for quite a number of years now. And now I see they're releasing some balloons there to the enjoyment of the crowd. Well, it sure is a good day for releasing balloons.
now just coming into the square we have Banana. That's a here anything.
And now just about to pass the viewing stand, giving us that fine Irish music, are Sean O'Croneen, manager of Spallana Tow Textile Factory in Ballymakeera. Also playing music there is Dennis McCarthy, Jerry McCarthy, and John Toomey from Ballingeary. While dancing a jig there we have Francis McSweeney. So let's listen to the music. On the viewing stand there as well is the Con Murphy, UDC, Reverend Father Collins, and listening to the music there, it occurs to me that Spallana Tow, Ballymakeera, must have a very lively workforce indeed if they dance to the tunes being played down there by Sean O'Croneen, his manager and his partners. the Cullen Pipe Band there, but just passing the reviewing stand is Pat O'Connell. O'Connell fuels Macroom. Pat, who supplies good quality coal at keen prices, and a member of the Junior Chamber himself. He's being followed there by I think it's very similar to what used to be called a bubble car anyway. And the music now of the Cullen Pipe Band. Lining up beside the Cullen Pipe Band we have the Boy Scouts. And if we return to the reviewing stand for a moment, up there we have Pat Kelleher of the Sound Centre in Macroom, Stephen O'Connor, youngest member of Macroom UDC. Some information on the bubble car there. It's being piloted by Hugh Creedon. Passing the reviewing stand now, the float of Macroom Horticultural Society. Its president Eugene Hickey and its chairman Pat Murray. Eugene was telling me just earlier that he believes very strongly much of the vegetables which are sold here every week could be grown here locally. Castlemore quarries represented there, and coming along we have the spirited Ahina Choltis. Martin Carey there, and Peggy Lynch playing the baron. Southwestern Regional Fisheries Board.
Followed by the young men of Ahina Athletic Club.
Ahina Athletic Club coming along there in the footsteps of the Southwestern Regional Fisheries Board.
Now, our next one is quite a long one as well, and it's Toyota, Macroom Motor Services.
Macroom Motor Services float, Toyota, first all the time, and on front it has a notice which says your Toyota dealer has gone off his rocker. This, I believe, is because of their claim that they are offering very high trade-in against the purchase of new cars. So Macroom Motor Services. Cullen Pipe Band striking up the Docus Lingnev Podrick there. Now, if I might return to the reviewing stand, over there beside Father Collins we have Stephen O'Connor, as I already said. Beside Stephen we have Dennis Kelleher, former chairman of Macroom UDC, Donald Creed, former Minister for Sport, and now of course a member of the opposition. Macroom Mills truck, their first truck just passing the reviewing stand there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Macroom Girl Guides float. They're representing the countries of the world that are involved in girl guides. Thank you.
Correction there, this first float, although it's a Macroom Mills truck, is in fact the Macroom Girl Guides, and we've just heard there representing every country in the world. There we see Gambia, Finland, Ghana, well, maybe not every country, but shall we say most countries. Macroom Mills now, Dan Kiley at the wheel of this bulk container.
Close by in the back there, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing close by a telecom area. We have also on
Well, it's Telecom Air responsible for that noise there. A very beautiful float. Last year's winners, Worldwide Communications. A very fine float indeed. Meanwhile, across the way, just passing the viewing stand, we have some vans from their blood brothers, you might speak, on post. And coming in the background is our own local band here, Mort Kelleher's accordion band. Mort, who has been teaching accordion here for many years now and has turned out some very fine musicians indeed.
followed by those rather large vehicles from Neville's Bakery, Neville's Bread and Road.
Neville's Bakery, this big articulated truck coming into view just now. And Neville's, who have moved the base of their operations from Masseytown to the building which was once the International Tapes, and they have undertaken great expansion in the past year or so, and we wish them well. They now cover quite a wide area and send bread as far away as Limerick and Wexford and even to Dublin. So two very fine trucks there, float of Neville's Bakery.
Next to our local record inspector, Jim Ring.
And now the man who does most to keep Macroom tidy in his own way, Jim Ring, with his new garbage collection truck.
Ladies and gentlemen, is the Scout float, the Macroom Scout float.
Oh, just good man, thanks. Coming along here in front, right beside where we're standing, is the Catholic Boy Scouts of Ireland Macroom section. A very colourful scene here indeed. Everybody in a jubilant mood and loads and loads of noise. Let's listen to it.
Next float coming in, ladies and gentlemen, is your electricity supply board, ESB.
The ESB float being overtaken there by people who are always in a hurry and living up to their name. It's the Cork County Fire Brigade. Peter Leahy at the wheel there and making himself heard. Jerome Brosnan there. Jerome, who's based in Coachwood and supplies carpets and floor coverings. That was the fire brigade, ladies and gentlemen. The ESB float has an accompanying group at the back there, playing some very modern music indeed. And now Stephen O'Connor is addressing the crowd. Stephen, as I said, youngest member of Macroom UDC.
Another splendid St. Patrick's Day parade. Over the last few years, they have provided the Macroom town with a number of activities, and we in Macroom should be particularly glad that we have the hard-working group to promote the town.
A tribute there to Macroom Junior Chamber.
All those who took part in today's parade and made it such a joyous occasion. The number of floats have been up on previous years, as you've already been told, and the amount of effort is quite obvious that has been put into preparation of each individual float. Finally, I'd like to thank each and every one for turning out and making this such an important day. All over the world, Irish people and anybody with a drop of Irish blood in them are celebrating this special day. It's Ireland's Day, and I think we should be glad that we have played our part in providing our own St. Patrick's Day parade. Finally, I would say that we in the council are only too willing to support any group or any individual that has any ideas or any constructive ideas in the promotion of Macroom Town and the welfare of the Macroom people. We would be glad to meet with anybody that would have such ideas. And once again, I would like to thank you all for coming out, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day. Thank you.
Stephen O'Connor there, and also there on the stand now I see is Michael Creed, County Councillor, and his father, Donald Creed, now approaching the microphone.
Winter Junior Chamber Macroma, August Gostina, a covering lesson of Gacha, a foot Korea. It's more than ordum to a Van Shaw, August Homana Via, August Os on Kara, a host of Madam Chairperson, Reverend Father, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to join with Councillor O'Connor in congratulating the members of the Macroom Junior Chamber in organising what I would regard as a wonderful St. Patrick's Day parade here for the third year in succession. Last year I remember saying off this platform that it was bigger than the year before, and I would say that you will agree that this year it has been almost twice as big as it was last year, particularly the parade and particularly those people, the industrialists here, who put their goods on display. I would like also to congratulate them on taking part and making sure that this was a very, very successful event on this St. Patrick's Day. I would like to, on this occasion here today, to mention that Irish men and women share a common platform throughout the world this day in celebrating the feast of St. Patrick. And whilst it is regarded by Irish people throughout the world as a very important day in the calendar, and for that reason I would say that we are all sharing this common platform. But I would like to mention that it is a very important day here, locally for the people of Macroom and for the people of the Diocese of Clyde, because in Rome today we have consecration of a new bishop for the Diocese of Clyde. And I'm sure you would all join with me in welcoming the bishop and wishing him a very, very successful and a very happy time here amongst us in this diocese. I would like to take the opportunity of paying tribute to his predecessor, Most Reverend Dr. John Ahern, and I sincerely hope that he will enjoy many years in retirement and that his successor will be blessed with the same tolerance and the same understanding and the same generosity as Bishop Ahern was. I would like to say on this occasion here that I'm very proud to be asked to speak here, to join with the other speakers on this platform, to encourage and to assist in any way possible the junior chamber here. Because it is important nowadays in the modern world to have people like the junior chamber who will take up the cudgel, who will promote the interests of the organisation that have only the good of the locality at heart, and therefore I would like to salute them today and commend the work which they have been doing, and to say that they deserve support from all of us. I would like finally also to avail of the opportunity, and I said at the outset that we all share a common platform today. Whether we differ in politics or in religion, we all have one united objective, is to share and celebrate this day. And I would like also to say that on this occasion, I think in every platform throughout the free world, that we should, and particularly Irish people, should condemn violence in our society. It has become fashionable in recent times where people will claim credit for taking human lives, where they will rush to the media and to the press and say that we were responsible for taking such a life. And I think this has become increasingly obvious in recent times. And I would say that in every platform throughout where Irish people meet today, that those people who are involved in this type of crime and in the taking of human life are not doing this country any good. We're a small island here. We have respect and we have love from the nations of the world. But we cannot continue to share that support and that love and that interest in investment here except we can control this type of crime in our society. So I want to say here that it is important that every one of us unequivocally will condemn and remove any kind of support from those people. And finally, again, to return to where I started, that I'm proud and honoured to be invited here today to share the great occasion with you, to congratulate again the Macroom Junior Chamber, and to thank everybody who supported in any way those people and those young people who came out to support the great occasion here, that we can say in Macroom that we can celebrate this feast as good as any town or as any city throughout the country.
Loud applause there for a spirited speech from Donald Page. Donald Minicon, Balivuni man, TD, now approaching the microphone.
Bine kunne fort passere, så var det så, at jeg på mig her, det så, tak for mig, og højt, hoppet og højt, fisken, og så går en galerie. Madam Chairman, had I'm glad, and I wish to thank the Junior Chamber for inviting me here, and I'm glad to be here with you, and see such a fine turnout here, on this occasion. There is no doubt which is encouraging to see those who are giving employment in the area coming out with their clothes and displaying their goods here today. We have said last year that it was way bigger than the year before, so there is no doubt in the world about it. So that today has topped the match and has made a great success. And I would like to congratulate each and every one who took part in making this day such a great success. I would also like to join in the words that have been said about our bishop, and I hope that someday we not far away from us that we will see him here in this town and welcome him into this town. And it is one is very hard to then so I guess that it's today like today you just remind us was when people, especially the young people, when you look down at the number of young people present and you said to yourself, where are they going to get employment, where are they going to get jobs? We, your public representatives, and I as one of those will do everything possible to get our on the employment we can into the Macroom area and the Macroom town, especially to try and keep those young people at home for their leave school and to create employment for them, and that we have a bigger and a happier town in the years to come. And I have no doubt in doing so, for that we will have bigger and bigger parades in the years ahead. For real Mahagam.
Tónlo Minicon, tuck the dollar.
Finally, I would like to call on Mr. Pat Kelleher, Chairman of the Macroom Traders Association.
Pat Kelleher now approaching the microphone. Pat, Chairman of Macroom Traders Association.
On behalf of Macroom Traders Association, I would like to tell you that we're very, very pleased to be associated with this parade in sponsoring the prizes for the floats. We're very, very pleased, as everybody has said already here today, to see the absolute fantastic increase in entries. And not only that, but the increase in emphasis on work that's been done with the entries of the floats. It's very refreshing to be up here and see the amount of work by all sorts of people, young and old, turning out to show us their wares and whatever today. Anything that I would have said has been said already. So again, I'm very pleased on behalf of the Traders Association to be associated with this parade, and I would like to congratulate Norma and her committee for a fantastic parade. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Pat. Now, before we announce the results, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity as President of the Junior Chamber of Macroom to thank the organising committee, my fellow members in Junior Chamber, those who helped us in any way. And here I would like to give special mention to Pat Healy, Michael Lynch, Donald Buckley in the Northeast. The most important people here today are the participators. You have put time, effort and money into the day. Without you, we would have no parade. To our new people here today, a special word of welcome. Those of you who are with us again this year, we thank you for your continued support, and we hope to see you again next year. To you, the audience, thank you for coming and supporting the parade. I hope you have enjoyed the afternoon. Now, the presentation of the prizes will be made in the hooded cloak in about 20 to 25 minutes time. Two categories, for prizes for two categories. First of all, the industrial float. The winner in this category is the ship company.
Applause there for the ship company, winners in the industrial category.
In our non-industrial sector, the prize goes to the Irish Guide Dogs Association.
Irish Guide Dogs Association, winners of the non-industrial section.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've just been informed that our new Bishop, Bishop McGee, is going to have some opposition from none other than the ESB, because there in the back of the ESB they have what I think is St. Patrick come back to life again, and that's appropriate enough since their slogan, which they have there on the side of their float, is electricity brings living to life.
What? Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of this parade we interviewed Fionnuala, and of course we knew all along that the ship company were going to be the winners. And right here beside me now I have the owner of the ship company, and he's going to tell us his name and a little bit about it. So over to you, Stan.
Well, I have not very much to tell about this. The only thing I can do is to thank the people that made this possible, that put in all the work and effort, because it's many nights that's been spent on this during the last week, and I wish to thank Fionnuala and Eva and the two leprechauns, which has put in a lot of work in this.
Where did you find those leprechauns?
Well, I can't tell you that.
That's top secret. Can I talk to one of them?
Try.
Okay, it's my first time interviewing a leprechaun. Hello, are you a leprechaun?
Yeah.
Can you tell me your name?
Emil.
Would you say that again, please?
Emil.
Amen. And?
John.
You're also a leprechaun.
Yeah.
What's your name?
John.
Okay. Do you like being a leprechaun?
Yeah.
Now, I have a question to ask you. I want you to tell me your secret. Where's your pot of gold? It's right here. Will you give me some of it? Okay. It's a very valuable pot indeed. Okay. Thank you very much. Well done again. Congratulations. And right just here on the shamrock here we have the PCBs, which, as we learned at the beginning, are printed circuit boards. They are manufactured here in Macroom. They look very intricate to me, and indeed I don't understand or know anything in the world about them, but they look very intricate and impressive, and if you want any, well, contact Stan at the ship company. Now, here beside me I have my good friend, Town Councillor Dennis Kelleher. Dennis, what's your impression of the parade today?
Fantastic turnout, Con, indeed. Looking at it again today, I honestly think that it's up at least 100% on last year's performance. The exhibits there today were more than fantastic, really. And if I was to be the judge of this today, I would find it to be a very hard task, because there were a total of 28 exhibits, and I think the job of the judge, it was a very, very intriguing thing to do, and the decision, I will agree, was, very colourful. The winner was very colourful, and, again, I think it's a great credit to the Junior Chamber here in Macroom and to the people who took part here today. And, I only hope that with the help of God we'll be all back here again next year, and that we can even make it more, strengthen it more than what it had been this year.
Well done, Denny. And I would like to echo those sentiments and agree with everything you have said indeed. It really was a magnificent parade, and we were very lucky indeed that the day held fine. I think it's going to snow right now. We have some... Okay, thank you, Denny. Here on my left is Mr. Eugene Hickey. Eugene has been associated with different events here in Macroom for many years. He's been associated particularly in recent times and is president of Macroom Horticultural Society. Now, Eugene, earlier on I was speaking to you, and you had some interesting things to say to me about the state of horticulture in Macroom generally and regarding vegetables in particular.
Well, my grievance is that we have a very poor locality for growing vegetables, which we could grow. There's plenty of room for us. We all have a bit of ground, and if everyone had a quarter of an acre, we needn't have anyone coming from Limerick or Tipperary or any part of Ireland into Macroom. We could supply our own vegetables if we only tried it.
Are you saying it's the farmers should do this, or anybody?
Anybody. I don't care who he is. If we have a plot of ground, he can grow enough to feed himself.
And would this be a paying proposition?
It's very paying, for I'm after spending my years at it, and it's a very paying proposition. There's money to be made in it.
Well, there's money to be made in it. There are words I'm sure that a great many people would like to hear, and perhaps we should heed what Eugene has just said. Thank you very much, Eugene, and good luck to you. Then, in a few moments, we will be joining Ahina Coltis. But before we come to that, we want to talk about mountain climbing. Edmund Hillary was the first man to climb Mount Everest, and in the past week he had some shock news. It's just been discovered that it isn't the highest mountain in the world after all, that another mountain, K2, is some 30 to 50 meters higher than that. Well, here beside me I have two gentlemen who are concerned with mountain climbing, not Mount Everest, but they're going to go to the top in this country. They are organising an expedition to climb Coughlan, and here on my right is Pat Coughlan, and Pat is the organiser of this expedition. Well, Pat, will you tell me first of all what the purpose of this expedition is?
It's mostly for to collect cash for handicapped children. A few of the lads decided we would make an effort during Lynch, and with God of Grady there, we decided we'd go back to Kerry and do a bit of mountain climbing.
How many people roughly will be going on this expedition?
We'd hope there'd be about 10. There's supposed to be more, but if we got 10, there'd be actually about 10 climbing. 10, maybe a bit more than that, like 10, 12.
Okay, expeditions such as this involve a certain amount of expenses. You have to have a certain outlay of money to cover expenses. Where is this money going to come from, Pat?
That'll be handled by the trump card who pay the expenses for the teams travelling back and forth. Any money that's taken will be solely for charity.
So all the outside expenses are being covered by the trump card. Now here on my left I have got Pat Grady, my friend and my neighbour, who is expedition leader. Now Pat, you've climbed Coughlan a number of times previously, is that correct?
That's correct, Con. For people who haven't done a bit of it, it is a fair journey. Coughlan, as can be seen in our little thing here, is 3,414 feet above sea level. The highest mountain in Ireland, and it is a fierce challenge to people at this time of the year especially, because you don't know what conditions you're going to encounter going up it. But safety is our first priority in this venture. As Pat now has said, this is totally voluntary by the people participating. We do have sponsorship cards out at the moment. Now, the object of the exercise is there's going to be no expenses whatsoever taken out of any money subscribed. All monies will be going to the Brothers of Charity and in aid of handicapped and mentally handicapped children in our own country. Now, I have a personal interest in this respect myself, because I do have a brother who is severely mentally handicapped, and I have been to some of these wonderful institutions, and I can see that through cutbacks and the rest, that there's a lot of facilities that they're crying out looking for money for. As I said, we're helping our own. We're prepared to climb that mountain at any case to get to the top, and it'll be a sense of achievement. And we're hoping that, you know, for Lynch, anyhow, we're making some little effort for our fellow man instead of drinking porter or doing anything like that all the time.
Well done, Pat. Now, for the people who intend going, Pat Coughlan just said you expect to have about 10 people going along with you. Will they all be climbing together, or will they be split into different groups?
No, I'll keep my little herd together on the way up the mountain, but naturally there'll be some people who will go, like, and go to the foot of the mountain, but it'll all depend on weather on the day, like in fog and things like that. We will have to take them into consideration. So if we have any of our local clergy, they might say a little prayer for us, anyhow, that we'll get a good day on the 21st of March, anyhow, which just happens to be my birthday, anyhow, as well.
Okay, so you're going to the top on your birthday. Now, last year some people actually were killed on Coughlan. Are you a bit concerned that there would be any danger to the people who are taking part in your climb?
Well, if people obey the basic safety regulations and have the right equipment and just obey their team captain, as we call him, we have them divided up into that, and I don't foresee any problems at all. Like, as I say, if we get halfway up and fog comes down, I mean, the mission will be aborted and take it up at another time, but we're setting out in good faith to do it, but we won't take any risk to endanger any fella's life.
How many captains have you?
Well, I have them divided into about 4 teams, and I have one with each of them. But it's my intention anyhow to have us all going together, and we'll go as slow as the slowest walker. There is no need of ropes actually or anything like that climbing, but you could get snow or anything, it becomes very dangerous. But taken in moderation, and there shouldn't be any accidents anyhow.
Right. It's next Saturday, is that correct?
Yeah, and all the climbers actually even have signed a certificate of indemnity, like they're doing so at their own risk. They know if they fall off, but they're doing it in good faith. We have got fierce support from the ordinary people around Macroom, like who have supported us, and like it'd be something good, and maybe like if we can get an interest in outdoor sports with people as a result of it, and encourage more of this sort of a thing, and it's a new thing anyhow.
Right, it certainly is a novel idea. Pat Coughlan, how will the climbers travel from Macroom to the foot of the mountain?
They'll be probably travelling by minibus,
by minibus. This is
2 cars and a minibus. There'll be probably minibus hired to take them there.
Right. This is next Saturday. What time?
Around 10 o'clock. We leave here, Macroom.
10 o'clock. So I leave in Macroom 10 o'clock Saturday next. And if you feel like supporting this venture, you can send on your donations to Garda Pat Grady, Mount Massey, or Pat Coughlan from Card Macroom.